Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that lovely treatment. So, we're doing something special this morning. I'm going to bring the energy up just a little bit before we go back into that sacred space, because you know what? Energy that's up is also sacred. So I want to ask you something. First of all, the title of our talk today and our experience is Time to Reboot and Live Out Loud. And of course, we're having a burning bowl ceremony this morning. So my question to you is, are you ready to live out loud? Yes. Let's ask that again. Are you ready to live out loud? Yes. Okay, I think you're ready. Excellent. Excellent. So we're doing something that we have done with Thanksgiving and Christmas as well, which is instead of having a traditional message offered to you from this spot, it's just a lead-in. It's just a showing the way to an experience that we're going to have together. This is the perfect time on the first morning of the first day of the first week of the first month of the new year to do something that is reflective, that involves ceremony. It's the perfect occasion for that. So we're going to get quiet in order to access how to live out loud. You know, that's one of those spiritual things. We're also going to get still so that we can access how to go out in the world and be actively authentic. Another one of those spiritual things. Everything is in pairs. So chances are you have been thinking about this past year, which technically ended at midnight last night. And maybe you've been thinking about a few things you would prefer not to experience again. Happy to let them go, call them done, sweep them out the door, call it good, right? You may have also been reflecting either very, very carefully, informally, or casually about what you'd prefer to experience in 2023. It's the perfect opportunity to pause, even though in truth we have it every day. This is a special one because everybody's doing it. So we have the power of our own intention as well as the power of everyone else doing it too. It's popular to make New Year's resolutions, and you may know by this point in your life that they don't always stick for very long. You know why that is? I know, I'm hearing a lot of laughter. That's because New Year's resolutions usually come from a disempowered place. They come from a place of fear and worry and guilt and shame and I ought to be better, I should do more, life isn't fair, or whatever it is. They come from an icky place. They don't last very long. Sometimes people make New Year's resolutions and make significant changes in their lives on this day, and that's wonderful. And we have something that we do here at Centers for Spiritual Living, and others in New Thought, in metaphysics, in personal development do it as well, and that's to state intentions. The difference between a resolution and an intention is huge. An intention is clear. It is in the present tense like an affirmation. It is personal. It is powerful. It is a claim that we make, a statement that we make about something that we can't see yet. So it is also faithful. It is trusting. It is courageous. It is bold. Like a SMART goal, it is specific. It's time-bound. You might say, by this date, I am going to have this experience. By this date, I'm going to have this relationship. By this date, I'm going to have this home, or this car, or this job, or this new way of being in my life. It is powerful. It is specific. It is courageous. And it employs the power of the creative process, which we talk about here all the time, so beautifully. If you don't know it already, what we think about comes about. So when we identify and declare a thing in that way, from that space, and employ that creative process, mountains move and dreams come true. The other sacred act that we're going to do today is letting go. That's another one of those spiritual things, right? Whether you call it surrender or letting go or something else, release. Letting go of what isn't makes more room for what is. And we know that what is all of those ideals that wake us up in the middle of the night. All of those great dreams that wake us up in the morning. All of those crazy ideas that we may be the only one glimpsing amongst our circle of friends. Those wild things that for some reason we think are possible for us. So we want to make more room for them because we know that we live in a field of infinite possibility. So we're going to make some room, okay? Here's how that's going to go. We're going to be handing everyone, I'm going to tell you, this is like Toastmasters. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, then I'm going to tell you that I'm telling you, then I'm going to tell you, okay? Something like, we're going to hand everyone some flash paper. We're going to move through this meditative process. We're going to each identify what we're ready to release. And we're going to identify our intentions for 2023. And I'm just going to gently guide you through this process. Now, before we get to that, this is called flash paper for a reason. It's flammable, and it burns in a flash. And yet you can also write on it. So we're going to take you into a meditative process where you have the opportunity to identify what you'd like to let go of and what you would like to embrace. And we'll have some musical accompaniment and some space for you to think and reflect. And I'll let you know that when you're ready, you're going to come up here. Hold that piece of paper to that flame, drop it in the bowl, and let it all go. Okay? I'm going to be instructing you to put what you desire on one side of your paper and what you're ready to let go of on the other. Okay? So you'll get all of those prompts. And when we're done, there'll be a little bit of a welling up of that beautiful music. And then we're going to hear a wonderful affirmation, a treatment from Ernest Holmes. Okay? So how are we doing? Everybody's getting a piece of flash paper? As a matter of fact, I will tell you, we welcome those of us who are on the platform and over here doing music and up there in the sound booth, we welcome those as well. Okay. So it's okay. I have mine in my head. 2 words. I cheated. I thought about it earlier. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. This is similar to the visioning process, which means that I'm going to invite you first to close your eyes and allow me to guide you into that meditative and receptive space where your best answers are waiting for you as you. And then I will slowly guide you through those prompts, okay? So we take a moment and begin in this way. I invite you to rest your papers and your pen on your lap or on the chair beside you. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Relax your torso. Relax your hips and your thighs, your knees and your calves and your feet. Relax your arms and your hands. And allow yourself to breathe that trusting, peaceful, safe, contented breath. In and out. In and out. And similar to the way we do our visioning process, we remain in this meditative state while we ask these questions. This time of our higher self, our inner knower. The first question on this New Year's Day is, what am I ready to release that is complete? What am I ready to release? And as these concepts, as these memories, as these beliefs come to you, jot them on one side of your paper. And know that even if you have to abbreviate, Spirit knows. Love knows. The law knows what it is that you are releasing now. And when you're ready, when you feel complete with what you have written down, that you are ready to release, turn your paper over and ask yourself that beautiful New Year's question. What am I ready to embrace in 2023? What am I ready to say yes to in 2023? What is mine in 2023? There is that within you which knows what this is. Trust it. Write it down. It could be an image, it could be a word, it could be a thing, it could be all of those. Write down what you're ready to say yes to in 2023. And remaining in that meditative state, as you are ready, we invite you to come up one by one, form a line down the center of the room. Quickly light your flash paper on the candle and drop it in the bowl. And two things. I'm going to have April Connor demonstrate. And then we want those of you who may need a little extra time to start coming up now. Just like that. And after you do that, take an affirmation cookie from the basket on the side of the room where you are sitting. And just remember, even as your eyes are open and you are doing things, you are still in ceremony. So let's hold the sacred space as we release, as we embrace, and as we affirm. It is done. It is done. Yes. Yes. It is done. Yes. It is done. Yes. Yes. It is done. And so it is. It is done. It is done. And so it is. It is done. It is done. Yes. It is done. And so it is. It is done. And so it is. It is done. And so it is. It is done. So it is. It is done.
We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
So we wrap up this beautiful ceremony together with words from Ernest Holmes from a book called Creative Ideas. Today is a new beginning. I live today as though the words of this my affirmative prayer were already accomplished facts in my experience. I empty my mind of every fear and doubt. I condemn no one and no thing, not even myself. I forget that which is past and have no fear of the future. I live in harmony with all people and with all situations that surround me. I see and feel the presence of good running through everything. I have complete faith that this divine presence reveals itself to me in every thought, every word, and every act. There is nothing in my thought about the past or the future that can in any way deny me the pleasure and the privilege of living today as though everything was complete and perfect. My whole expectancy is of much and more, of good and better. The future is bright with hope and fulfillment. The present is perfect, and no past failure mars today's understanding. Today is the start of my new and more successful experience of achievement. And so it is. Namaste.